Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Name the dog, Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my bulletproof friend, my friend who owns a barbershop but has no reason to go into one, Frank.
Very, very accurate. Yes. Hi, buddy. How you doing?
Good, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. I am enjoying a Belgian blonde beer from Leffe.
Oh.
Is that what you're enjoying as well?
Yes, it is. It's really good.
Yeah.
You bought it. That's why.
Is.
Yeah.
It's better when it's free. Have you tried before?
No.
Leffe? Oh, it's very good.
It's so good. I love Belgian's my favorite.
Me too.
And so, so good.
Mm-hmm.
But even Belgian bottling and, font and color and I love it all. I gotta go to Belgium.
I know, me too. I really want to go to Belgium. My cousin and his wife.
I can offer you a chance to go to Epcot.
I've been.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I actually missed an opportunity to go to Belgium.
Really?
Yeah, and I
drove through Belgium once.
Oh, did you?
On the way between Germany and France. That was it. But my cousin and his wife have they've gone a bunch of times, and we were talking about going with my wife and having a little beer trip while we're there, and going to the abbeys and the breweries and checking out this stuff. So yeah, this is Leffe is it's a Belgian abbey ale, and it's a blonde with subtle sweetness accentuated with aromas of vanilla and clove, and they've been brewing it since 1240. The year 1240.
They've been brewing this. Wow, that's really old beer. Oh, not this bottle specifically. I see.
I see where I went wrong.
I'm fine now.
How are you? So there's a new Marvel TV show, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So, Luke Cage dropped back in September.
Yeah.
But
we kind of took our time.
We took our time watching it. For one reason. Well, I mean, I think the, it dropped back like September 30th. So,
yeah,
I should say September, but it was really October.
Yeah. But it's been a month.
It's been a month, and we did kind of take our time watching it. But I also we were almost ready to talk about it a few weeks ago, but so many people also seem to have been taking their time with it.
Yeah.
People haven't been binging Luke Cage in my circle, and even some of the sites that I checked, that they haven't been watching it the same with the veracity that people watched Daredevil seasons 1 and 2, Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
And I think I think I know the reason for that, but I'm curious what you think. Maybe we'll get there, but let's
in my circle, it wasn't really the same way. In my circle, I think people watched it pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
So I was one of the last people to finish watching it. Out of my group of friends, but that's interesting. What do you think? What's your theory on why it took people longer?
I think that the story feels very long. The story feels it's 13 episodes. You know how some you wanna get through as fast as possible, and you're like, oh no, it's over! I can't believe it's over. And this one, I was like, whoobly. This is like it's only 4. 4 was a good episode, but I was like, there's just come on, something. And part of that I don't think is a reflection on the show, but I think but Luke Cage isn't he's invulnerable for the most part. There's these spoilers for Luke Cage. So there's the bullets that the Judas bullets that like that does hurt him and all that stuff. But he's got unbreakable skin, and
unbreakable.
I'm Luke Cage. Yeah. And so that's the crossover that I'm waiting for.
Crossover we don't, not the crossover we need, but the one we deserve.
Yeah, I agree. Just Luke Cage dancing around Pops Pinot Noir.
Oh my god, the two of them.
I know, so funny. And so, I'll stop there. Yeah. But I like when a character can't be hurt, there's not a lot of tension to be had. So like it has to fall to other characters that you'd have to feel for them, their peril, their whatever, or you have to feel for the character, like he can't, like the Superman, like he can't save everybody, so who does he choose, and like all this stuff. But I feel like that show was kind of, it was missing that.
Yeah, they didn't go that route. Of like, I can't save everybody, and I have a guilty conscience because I couldn't save this person or anything like
right,
that.
it's about, well, sort of. Like, he has a bit of that with Pop.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but, like, some of that kind of goes and dies, and it's really about saving Harlem.
Yes, it's way more about, about the soul of Harlem, the fight for the soul of Harlem.
Which is, that stuff I really liked.
Yeah.
But I just kind of found a lot of the show kind of flat, and a lot of it didn't intrigue me. Like, his main plot, like his story, I think I liked the first 7 episodes. I think it's 7 episodes more than the back half.
I'll agree with you there.
I liked Copperhead more than Diamondback.
Okay.
And I think that's a part of it. So when Cottonmouth, when I say,
Copperhead.
Oh my God, so many snake names.
Yeah.
So I liked Cottonmouth more than
I agree.
Yeah, and so when he died, which was a great scene.
Yes.
When Black Mama killed him. Alfie Woodward, who was in Civil War.
Yes.
She was the one that was like, my son died. Tony Stark, he died.
I always think about her role in Star Trek. First Contact? Yeah,
Yes.
Yes, First Contact. Isn't that the one with you break your little ships? I'm gonna use my one look up.
There you go.
Just to make Tim stop.
Yeah. Yes. Can I help you?
Sir Hiss?
Yeah. No, you ever see the producers with Carmen Gia answers the door?
Oh.
Like, yes. Anyway, I really liked that scene. She like smashes his face in with the mic stand and all of that.
It is First Contact.
It is First Contact. Okay.
The line must be drawn here. This far. No further.
I heard your voice echo out
into
the building again.
I know.
I love it when that happens.
Broke your little ships.
Yeah, because everybody comes out and is like, "Hey, try to sleep here." I'm like, "Why? It's not even 8:00 at night yet." Yeah, calm down. Yeah,
chill.
Yeah, take a chill pill. So I found tertiary characters more intriguing than I found Luke Cage, and I think maybe that was like I didn't like, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't.
Interesting.
Most episodes, he was not my favorite part of the episode. I really liked him in the last episode, though, right? So, like, when he gets arrested and he's in the car with the book,
yeah,
I really liked all that, and I was like, it's just kind of, you know what it is? He's mopey through a lot of the episode.
Yeah, he was definitely down. He was definitely a little mopey. I actually really liked this show more than I liked parts of Daredevil.
Sure.
I don't know if I'd say more than I like Jessica Jones. I really like Jessica Jones, but I liked this a lot more than I liked some parts of Daredevil. Like, I thought Daredevil was, people like went crazy over Daredevil.
Yeah.
And I liked Daredevil, but I really liked parts of.
Okay, so because I don't want to be down on it and say that like I didn't like, because I did. I really liked the music. I liked that, bringing that music into the club.
Harlem's Paradise was like, that's like I would.
It was great.
A place that has music like that, I would go every night.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely.
A place like that, like on that level, was that consistently good and actually existed in a place that I could go to.
Expensive club.
Yeah, no, but I would go. Like
I really liked that. I thought Method Man's acting was actually really good.
Yes,
it was really like,
yes.
You You a double XL?
Yeah.
I really yeah, man. I liked all that. I really liked Misty Knight a lot.
Loved Misty Knight.
Loved Misty Knight.
She was fantastic.
Yeah.
She was fantastic. She owned that role.
Yep.
She owned that role. I would love to see her in some more. So she's just fantastic.
She's going to be she's in Defenders.
I know. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
There's I just saw a set photo, which is not really a spoiler for the show because I'm sure it's episode 1 at this point because they just started, but it's Misty Knight holding a gun out on Jessica Jones, who's got her arms up in the air.
Nice.
And so
I'm excited. I'm excited for that show. I am.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would be. I really didn't think I would because these are not characters that I really knew before these shows very well. So I was sort of okay, Defender show. I guess I'll probably try it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I try all of them. And
yeah,
so,
me too.
Yeah,
I'm trying all of them.
So, but we'll talk about Defenders at the end. So let's stick to Luke Cage. But why did you like the show so much?
So the music was a major thing. I really was intrigued. I'm not usually that into mob boss stories that much.
Sure.
I feel it's a little overdone.
Yeah.
Once you've seen The Godfather or Goodfellas, why bother again?
I don't really like The Godfather.
Okay, we should
I'm
definitely
just,
not
I'm just
have that conversation.
I'm just
right
kidding.
now.
I own all of them. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this I felt was a really good mob boss story, drug lord, story where it was just as simple as she's in the city council. He could go straight, but instead he decides that easy money would be guns and drugs.
That was the story I found super interesting.
Right.
The two of them, they Cottonmouth, and when was Copperhead is a DC. Black Mariah. Did I say Black Mamba?
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't get these names right.
Cottonmouth and Black Mariah. I thought they were I really enjoyed the two of them, and I really enjoyed Luke.
It's Black Mamba. Her real name is Mariah. Black Mamba is a type of snake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They did call her Black Mariah in the show, though.
Gotta look it up. Now I will use that as my lookup because it's going to bother me.
Because I didn't make that up. I was I guess that's her name? Because I wasn't familiar with her character. But when they said Black Mariah a couple of times, there she is. Black Mariah is a fictional character, villain appearing in American comic books, published by Marvel Comics. Character is usually depicted as an enemy of Luke Cage. Black Mariah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you say that, and to that I say, here is a picture of the snake Black Mamba. So
okay, well,
so maybe I heard Mamba because I know that's a snake.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, Mariah Dillard, Earth 616, Black Mariah.
Oh, and Black Mamba is also a Marvel character.
Okay.
Black Mamba is a fictional character, Superman appeared in American comic books published in Marvel Comics. She appeared in 64, creators Ralph Macchio and Mark Grunwald.
Ralph Macchio?
Ralph Macchio, not the Karate Kid, the Marvel editor. I know. I had that conversation with people before.
I did not realize that was a thing.
Yep. Okay. We're good now.
Okay, wow.
I confused my Black Mariahs and Black Mambas and snakes and oh boy.
So Cottonmouth, Black Mariah, Diamondback. So I thought that the two of them were great, and I really liked Luke having to take them down and knowing that they were the bad guys.
Sure.
And he was the only one who could stop them to some extent. I really, really enjoyed. I think I agree with you up to and including episode 7-ish. So right about halfway, past halfway. Not to say that I didn't enjoy it from there on out, but that was definitely the best. That was where I was really digging in and really enjoying it.
I agree.
I can't wait for the next one. I was on a long flight out to the West Coast, and I was just eating these episodes up on my flight there.
Yeah.
Really loving it. So yeah, I agree with you there. So was it purely the he's too overpowered and it's not interesting anymore?
No, I don't think so because I love Superman.
Yeah.
So that I can't say that I love Superman for the same reason as I just for whatever reason he's just not a character that I I don't know warmed up to.
Yeah,
I guess. But there are
he's
times
not a warm fuzzy character. Luke Cage is not a warm fuzzy guy.
But he kind of is, and they're not They're not. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, not warm and fuzzy character. That's true. He's not Peter Parker.
He turns
He's charming.
He turns on the charm, especially with Misty, especially with the ladies.
Yeah. Let's get some coffee.
But yeah. Oh, that was a great recurring.
Coffee. Yeah, I love that.
That was a great recurring bit. Let's get some coffee. I don't even like coffee. That's the charm. That is the Luke Cage charm right there. It's a little bit like Billy D. sprinkled in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's get some Colt 45. Yeah.
So that was really cool. But yeah, I agree. He's not a warm fuzzy guy. He's not a happy guy for the most part. He's struggling with these inner demons he has, and this inner he knows that he could cause destruction, and he has this great responsibility that comes with his great power.
Yeah.
But that didn't bother me for whatever reason. I think that because he's just like such a smooth guy, and because the characters around him were a good supporting cast, that offset to the show didn't feel dour. It didn't feel, while it was dark, it didn't feel
dour. No, I agree. And I make, even though he was not, because I mean, all the Netflix shows are not like, they're not the happy-go-lucky Marvel movies, where an island is getting lifted up into the middle of the sky, and they're like, you threw a car at that guy. Good job. All right.
The incident.
Yeah, right. No, the incident is the alien.
I know.
Don't. Yeah. So I honestly, I really don't know what it was about this show that I didn't attach myself to it the same way, because I liked the mob stuff. It was some of my favorite stuff, and I don't always like mob stories, same as you, but like I really liked the mob stuff in Daredevil, and so like that should equate its way right into Luke Cage, which it did. I might have been the pace. I found I found it a little slow going.
I'll agree with that for sure. I will actually definitely agree with that, because the second half of the season I was just sort of like, shouldn't we be like wrapping this up now?
Yeah.
Like this kind of feeling stretched out.
Well, part of that is that like we didn't, with Diamondback coming in halfway through, we get hints of him like being talked about, and Shades talks about him a lot. Shades I really liked.
I like Shades.
Yeah.
I almost thought we were never going to meet Diamondback, or like
Me either.
Not until the very last episode. Like he'd be like the you meet Bowser in the last level.
Sure.
Like I thought it might be something like that, but as it turned out, he was basically the villain for the second half of the season, and I just didn't love the way they did that. The pacing felt odd.
Yeah,
it felt a little haphazard. Like they were like, "Well, we're going to kill Cottonmouth and bring in Diamondback," and it was almost like, "Okay, but you guys, you like wrote all this before you shot it, guys. Like this."
Yeah. Well, see, there's so much set up for Luke and Cottonmouth to dislike one another. They both bridge together this thing with Pop, and and the way that they're both trying to quote unquote save Harlem, and like all this stuff. There's like a real connection between them, but there's a forced connection between Luke and Diamondback that we barely see.
I was way more invested in Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
Way more invested in Cottonmouth. Yeah. And then when he died, I was almost like, but he's not really dead, right? Like he's not like, right? Because I didn't want him to be.
Right.
Because I was so invested in the Diamondback. We hardly heard anything about him before he appeared. And then once he did, then they were like, oh, and they're actually half brothers.
Sure. Right. Exactly. Oh, by the way, they're related.
Right.
Like, why?
Why? Yeah. So I have my problems with that. I will definitely agree with that. But, I when I look back at the season as a whole, I enjoyed it more than I did. I give it more of a thumbs up than a thumbs down.
I still gave it the thumbs up. It's definitely I guess it's kind of I found some of it kind of a slog, but I don't like. But the acting is good.
The acting is really good.
I found some of the fights weren't great. Like they were not on the level of Daredevil or even Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
but I mean it's a different style, right?
Right.
But I found like there's that episode where we first meet Luke and Jessica Jones where he's just standing in the same place and he's just throwing people around the bar. That was a better fight than almost anything that we got in his own show.
Okay. All right. I was expecting we might see Jessica Jones make a cameo in the show.
I was expecting that as well.
Didn't happen.
I was not overly disappointed she didn't make a cameo either. Like they're coming together for Defenders anyway.
That's true.
So it didn't feel like to me, it didn't feel like a missed opportunity. There are different parts of the city, and New York is huge. So I mean, you could live in Harlem your whole life and you never have to leave.
It's true,
right?
But like Night Nurse gets around.
Yeah, but she's the Agent Coulson of the Netflix
Yeah,
show.
you're right.
She's the bridge because this is still phase 1 for Netflix, really, right? If you look at Daredevil as your Iron Man, your front, you have Iron Man 1 and 2, and Thor and Hulk and Captain America, then Avengers, and so
That's true.
and so
We had Daredevil 1 and 2.
right, you had Daredevil 1 and 2, and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and then Defenders.
We're gonna get into Defenders. Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, that's valid. That's valid.
Yeah.
I do think I enjoyed this more than Daredevil season 2.
I've heard people say that
Yeah.
as well. Daredevil season 2 had its issues.
Yeah,
as
I just
well.
didn't care for Punisher. I've never cared for the Punisher. It's just not a character that I care for.
It's funny that you said that because as soon as I rattled off all these things, I was like, oh, I forgot the Punisher.
Yeah,
I forgot his
Punisher.
show, but I'm not sure if his is coming before or after Defenders. I know they're filming concurrently.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
and so I'm not sure where their stories fall in line for releases.
I honestly think I might skip the Punisher series.
Yeah.
Like I sincerely think I might skip it. Because
Is it John Barenthal or is it the Punisher?
No, it's the character.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, John Barenthal, I think he's brilliant. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
I thought his performance was good. I just nothing about that character really sticks for me.
I agree. I think Punisher is a character that even as a kid, I always really liked the design of the character.
Okay, yeah.
I liked the big trench coat, and I liked the belt with like a bunch of with like pockets and this and that. But like, I've never really had an affinity towards the character. Kind of in the same way for Luke Cage. But I mean, like these shows are supposed to give me affinity for characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't care about Cottonmouth before. Watching this thing, but now I'm like, ooh, if Cottonmouth showed up in a book or whatever, I'd be like, I would read that.
Right.
I wouldn't read a series with Cottonmouth,
Sure.
But I would like to read a story. Right. So, and there are characters that like you have like a tertiary appreciation for. I kind of put Punisher on the same level as like Iron Fist. Like when you show up, I'm not upset.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of ambivalent.
Yeah.
But Iron Fist I like more because I like that kung fu kind of Eastern mysticism kind of thing. I like that stuff.
I gave Daredevil season 2. I watched it all. I feel like that was giving this version of the Punisher a try.
Mm-hmm.
I might try the first episode or two of Punisher and see if it reels me in.
Sure,
but I'm probably not going to go past that if it doesn't immediately.
Teach his own. I didn't love the Punisher in Daredevil, and I like John Barenthal a lot. He's real good in The Accountant. Actually, if you want to see, I really enjoyed that movie. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Part of it, Punisher's tough because like all these heroes don't kill their villains,
right?
For the most part,
right,
they're like, live to fight another day against you, and Punisher's like dead. Eventually you're just gonna run out of people. Yeah.
I just don't. I've never been one for anti-heroes, really.
No,
it's never been
never been your bag.
My thing. Even Watchmen like took me some time to sort of like get into it.
No, I like Watchmen. I like Watchmen for the allegory of it.
I mean, that's exactly.
But you're right. But like the comedian, and I'm not like, the comedian.
Right.
You're my favorite character.
Right.
No,
right.
like Night Owl, you're my favorite.
Yeah,
because you're like
because you're Batman.
Because you're like Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. You're like a nerdy Batman.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I have more affinity for those. More affinity for those characters than so. But Luke Cage isn't an anti-hero. He's a hero for hire. See what I did there?
Yeah. And that's why I'm puzzled as to why I enjoy this as much as I should, because on paper it doesn't sound like something that I would.
Right.
But I think I love the treatment of New York in this show.
Sure.
Loved it. I think the best they've done yet.
I agree. Even though they're all filmed in New York, for whatever reason, this was like
this felt the most authentic.
This is authentic New York.
As somebody from New York, like there was no it drives me crazy.
No, why? Because it was actually Harlem.
It was
as opposed to fake
Harlem.
Hell's Kitchen.
Yes, which was Queens half the time.
Well, right. Well, because Hell's Kitchen isn't a terrible place anymore.
Well, yeah,
but it was when Daredevil first came out.
No, but just the fact it just drove me.
Hell's Kitchen. Yeah.
Yes, I know, but just it drove me crazy to have. I know I talked about this when we covered Daredevil on the podcast. To have like a scene where they're standing in what is clearly Queens or Brooklyn across the river. You can see the skyline across the river, and they're like, here in Hell's Kitchen, blah blah blah. And I'm like, you're not in freaking Hell's Kitchen. That's not what it looks like in Hell's Kitchen at all.
Oh, see, that's funny because even when they were across the river, and I knew it wasn't Hell's Kitchen, I didn't take the sentence that way. I kind of took it as like you're speaking for Hell's Kitchen, not in Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, but I mean, like down by the docks and all that stuff, and you're like, what you doing there?
That's
down
not,
by the docks. That's not Hell's Kitchen.
Right. But this was
that's
much
Hell's
more
Plumbing. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This was much more authentic, handled with much more realism, and as much as a show about superheroes can.
Yeah.
Locations at least were done and faithfully. Faithful is the word I'm looking for. So I was really, really happy with that, and that added so much for me. Now that's my point of view as somebody who knows New York very well, and maybe I'm definitely nitpicky about that, but that added a level of enjoyment for me. That and the level of acting, storytelling, I thought was all brilliant. The second half of the story wasn't quite there for me, and the pacing wasn't quite there for me overall. But at the end of the day, I give it like a solid B.
Yeah, it's a good B. It's a solid B. Why do you think there were like all his villains were snakes? Why did it have to be snakes?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I know the reason. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was great.
Yeah.
What's the reason? Why is it
thematically they all fit together?
Yeah.
But like Diamondback really doesn't they actually don't really talk about it in the show. Like Black Mariah and Cottonmouth make sense because they're cousins.
Okay.
And he does not like
to be called Cottonmouth.
He does not like to be called Cottonmouth, and she doesn't really like to be called Black Mariah either.
They barely call her that.
Yeah, because she's like, I'll get back to that in a second. And then, and Diamondback is just there. He's just Diamondback.
He's just Diamondback.
You know what I mean?
His costume was like super
comic accurate. Yeah. Looked kind of weird.
Kind of, but it looked like armor.
It did. Yeah. I liked it, and I appreciated it. I mean, like, his comic book outfit looks dumb, too. I mean, it's not like he shows up, and you're like, I know I'm supposed to be afraid, but I'm sorry. But I'm not. I'm just not. And part of that is I just didn't care about Diamondback at that point anyway.
Yeah.
And so I had no affinity for still had no affinity for the character.
I never really got any.
I just but if Cottonmouth came back in that, I'd be like, I'd be so pumped.
I'd be so into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cottonmouth's death was necessary because as Luke, because the story is really about two people with everybody else filling in these other roles. It's about Luke learning to become a hero because he's very ambivalent to it at first, even that Hero for Hire where he like thinks about taking the money, but then he doesn't, he's like trying to figure out what it means to be an altruistic hero. Instead of being like, just leave me alone. Mm-hmm. And then it's about Black Mariah being at the top, being like, I am a good person. I will save Harlem, and just slowly sinking down into the pit of I don't know, evil decadence or something. Sure. You know what I mean? So it's this balancing act between the two of them. And so, but for her to cross the threshold, she has to kill Cottonmouth. So like I totally get why he had to die. I just miss him.
Me too.
I'm glad Shades didn't die though. He was probably the character like anytime he was in danger I was like, no, Shades.
I liked him. I didn't like him that much.
I don't know why I liked him. Every one of these shows has like that smooth like right hand man or whatever, you know what I mean? There was Wesley and Daredevil and there's Shades, and I'm pretty sure there was one somewhere in Jessica Jones. I can't remember. I only watched it once. The neighbor guy. Yeah, sure. That's not who I was thinking of, but you know what I mean? But like there's that like, you're a mob boss and I've got this like sly, almost I'm cooler than the mob boss guy.
Yeah.
Because I loved Wesley in Daredevil.
Yeah.
And I had that same affinity for Shades that way. That's where that came. And yeah, I don't think he was the best character. Misty Knight takes it for the best character for me. I loved her. I would watch a whole show with her.
Me too. I would so watch like a cop show set in the Marvel Universe.
I would watch a cop show, Misty Knight cop show, no question.
Like SVU, but
anytime she was on screen, I would like captivate. I would put my phone down or whatever else. I was like, I'm going to watch. I really liked the dynamic with her partner and her bosses and like all of it. She was great. She was so good. Simone Missick.
Yes, so good.
Came out of nowhere. I've never seen her in anything before.
Brilliant casting.
Yeah,
brilliant casting.
And so pumped that she's back for. Defenders.
Me too.
I loved her super Misty Knight outfit at the end of the. Have you seen what Misty Knight looks like in the comics?
Yes.
Yeah. So like
Yes.
the big afro and thing. But if you watch the very last scene where she goes into the club, her dress is basically Misty Knight's
Full
outfit
on.
with her big hair and everything. Yeah, I loved it. Loved
great.
all of it. She was so good. She gets shot in the arm. Misty Knight has a robotic arm. And she gets shot in the arm in which she has a robotic arm. It's like one of those little. We got you comic fans.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I missed that.
Yeah.
I really liked that. I really liked the imagery of him kind of taking back the look of the hoodie and making that
a symbol for justice.
Given everything that's
yeah.
going on in our country in the last couple of years, last like 2 years, particularly when this was being shot, most likely.
Yep.
It was really that was like very powerful.
I agree.
To watch.
I agree. The man in the hoodie can be your friend. He can protect you. He
A
is not
symbol
your
of hope,
enemy.
a symbol of strength.
I agree.
And how like everyone was wearing the whole hoodies with the holes in them around Harlem and high fiving him and everything. Like,
yeah, it was great.
That was really well done.
And I mean, even the idea of like a bulletproof black man,
yes,
in what is happening in our
Yes.
country right now is so great. You know, it's like it's so needed, and like that's where the show came together for me. Ultimately, the pacing just turned it into it wasn't there, which I'm really excited why Defenders is only 8 episodes instead of 13.
Yes,
which I thought is great. Stranger Things proved we spoke about this via text, but like Stranger Things proved you can do a really well thought out concrete show in 8 episodes, no filler, no nothing, just give me the goods.
Exactly. And I think I think it's a good attitude to take from the start. I feel like we have something to learn from the British in the way that they do their shows where,
Doesn't matter how many episodes, just tell a story. Yeah.
Just tell the story in as many episodes as you need to do it. If that's 22-hour-long episodes, fine. If that's 13-hour-long episodes, fine. If that's 3-hour-and-a-half episodes like Sherlock, that's fine too.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Tell it in the best format to deliver me the story.
Yep.
And just do it. And so I'm glad. I hope that the reason for that is that they feel they can tell it in 8 episodes and that's it. And that's all I need. And I'll be happy with that.
Yep. I'm 100% with you. Okay, so I think we should wrap up here. So you can find us at beerwithgeeks.com, at facebook.com/beerwithgeeks, at Twitter at beerwithgeeks. You can rate and review us on the iTunes and the Google Play and everywhere else. We would really, really like to climb up in the charts. Anything that you can do, 4 or 5 stars. You don't have to write a review. You can just flat out leave it. Say that Frank, you better grow your beard out for Movember.
Okay.
Or whatever. You better.
That's a good one. I like that. We're at the beginning of November. Let's
grow that beard out.
Grow it out.
Grow that beard out, Frank. That's what we can say.
All right.
Grow that beard out.
5 stars.
5 stars. Grow that beard out, Frank. And he'll do it.
Do it. But only if you tell me to.
Yeah. Only then. And so any final words?
I don't think so. I am excited for Defenders, and I'm glad we talked about this show. We came to an agreement.
We did. We came to an accord.
We did. Absolutely.
Yes. And so until next time.
Cheers.
100 days, 100 nights to know a man's heart. 100 days, 100 nights to know a man's heart. And a little more.